Pamela Anderson said something very interesting on her show. She said when she would go out with men, she realized men were doing to her what they watched in porn. And she would stop them and say, I don't like that. Don't hit me. Don't do this to me. I don't like the fact that you're doing this. So she's sitting there telling her son, don't watch, because you're going to think that's how to have sex with women.
Now, that's a really good anecdotal response. Let me give you an empirical one, because I'm reminded of a story I once read about a remote tribe in Brazil that got access to the internet for the very first time. The Marubo tribe lives deep in the Amazon rainforest somewhere in Brazil, and for centuries they had gone without access to the outside world. No smartphones, no TV, no social media, and of course, no internet. So essentially what you have here is a culture that has evolved for centuries without any interference at all or influence from the outside world until they got access to the internet. You see, in 2023, the tribe partnered with Starlink to bring internet access to the entire culture, and this was supposed to be a good thing. They would get access to healthcare, but they would also get the ability to communicate with family members that lived outside of the remote tribe as well. Now, you and I probably grew up having our entire life experience shaped and defined by the internet, so it's hard to remember what life was like before it, but here we actually get to see what happens to a culture that gets access to the internet for the first time. So surprise, within months after receiving access to the internet, the Starlink team comes back and they're like, yo, what's up? How do you like the internet? And guess what they found out? The young men were addicted to social media, and what a surprise. And when I read this, I was like, okay, well, like, how do you know that's true? How do you know that the men were addicted to and social media? And the tribe leader said that, well, their behavior changed. Remember, I said this tribe had an entire culture that was developed for centuries, and one of the things that they frowned upon was PDA. So when they start to see the young men start acting out explicitly in a way that isn't consistent with the tribe, people ask questions. They're like, where did you learn this behavior? Oh, that's where you learned it from. Essentially what I'm saying is the Marubo tribe had never seen explicit content before, and within months of gaining access to the internet, the men started treating the women the exact same way that they saw on the screen. Now connect that back to what Patrick just said, right? Pamela Anderson is on dates and she's telling men, stop doing this to me. I don't like it. The only reason you're doing this to me is because of what you see on the screen, and that is what's influencing the way that you are treating me. It's the same observation in two completely different contexts, yet the only variable that is consistent is explicit content. And this is why there is literally no such thing as a feminist that is pro-adult content, because think about it. If the evidence shows that it changes the way that men treat women, which it does, then it means that you are supporting the very same thing that is producing the conditions in which you are trying to eradicate. Both Pamela Anderson and the women of that tribe experienced a change in the way that the men related to them, and the only thing that was influencing it was what the men were consuming.